Welcome, food travelers, to an episode here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this episode, we're sharing our experience going to the Copper Buffet in Bangkok. This is the Gaysorn Amarin location. They are open daily with 3 different time slots from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. We came here for the last dinner slot, which is from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And at the time of this recording, it was 1,499 Thai Baht a person, which equates to $44. And that is before the 7% VAT tax that was also included into the bill. As for this restaurant, reservations is required as they are extremely popular, and it's very, very difficult to get the reservations. At this time of this recording, I tried to make the reservations online. I actually end up having to make the reservations when I got to Bangkok and had to contact one of my local friends to help me with that. This one is also a very special one as it was on my bucket list to try for a very long time. It was also one that was recommended by one of our viewers here who watched our In Paradise buffet in Taipei.
Yeah, looking at this buffet, it has a really unique look. It's beautiful looking buffet, the layout, the interiors, everything. It kind of looks to me, it kind of reminds me of kind of a mix of modern and retro, especially with the curved lines of the like entryway. Just kind of reminds me of that 50s diner look, but then combined with some modern look to it. Pretty cool look for the buffet.
Yeah, this buffet is very cool. I was very surprised by how it's designed. It was also very different from a lot of the buffets that we've been to in the past. So for this buffet, it's not like your traditional buffet where you have different stations where you walk up to them and you can just grab wherever you want to eat. It's more of a hybrid buffet, I would say. So in terms of hybrid buffet, you come up to a station, you tell them what you want, you kind of through an ordering menu system, and you tell them which table you're seated at. Then they will prepare the food, and you can actually watch them prepare the food in the kitchen there behind the glass window, and they will just bring the food to you, and you just sit back and relax.
That's pretty interesting. I've not quite yet experienced that type of buffet setting. There kind of is where you can go up and you order, and they have the made-to-order foods that we've gone to many buffets before, but actually having it where you order it and then you go back, sit down, and they bring it over, kind of a little bit more service style. That's pretty interesting, but I think it's pretty cool because you don't have to sit there and wait to get whatever you're trying to order, which happens a lot, especially in places like Vegas where you're ordering a crepe or something else and you gotta sit there and wait. And especially with the time limit, that definitely kind of pushes you to kind of rush on certain things. So it's nice to actually be able to say, I have an order here, I'm over at this table, and then later on they'll bring it in once they're done.
Yeah, even with that service, I still felt like it was kind of rushed in a way. Since we only have 2 hours, the line does move pretty fast, but it kind of feels like you kind of have to kind of stuff your face and kind of have a game plan on what you really want to try. I don't think there's quite enough time to get second or thirds of certain items, but I do feel like the restaurant was really well stocked and prepared with everything that they had there. Another thing I thought was pretty interesting was when you're booking this restaurant or when you're coming to eat at this restaurant, they also offer different type of packages that you can add on. So for example, one of the packages that you can add on that I read about was a Michelin star executive menu where it includes one premium dish crafted by a Michelin star chef with some sort of premium items such as a lobster with Russian caviar, or it could be something else like a tomahawk steak that I saw when other people had this package.
So overall, what are the different dishes, genres you could say that they were offering?
I think they pretty much have everything here. They would have the seafood section. They had just like the U.S. with your meat section, the pasta section. They also, because it's in Thailand, they also offer all the Thai dishes as well. And also with the seafood section, you also have your normal sushi with unagi and albacore, and they also had this thing that I thought was kind of interesting in their sushi menu, which is called the Australian Wagyu sushi, which is pretty much very similar to like a beef carpaccio, but it was like slightly cooked, so it's not quite raw, but it was still very very good. And they also had this soup, which is a truffle soup, and I thought it was actually very good truffle soup. It also came with this croissant that was not that was actually very flaky in itself, and the truffle soup was very creamy. Had really good truffle flavor, so it was very strong.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've actually never seen anybody dip a croissant into a soup, so I'll have to try that sometime if I find myself with soup and a croissant. Most likely, maybe a French restaurant at some point. But definitely interesting to kind of see all these different varieties they have. I know in Southeast Asia, there's quite a bit of Australian beef that gets exported to that area, Southeast Asia, and so it's quite popular to see Australian steaks in many dishes.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to point out was the boat noodles. So in Thailand, it's very popular having these boat noodles, and they actually offer 3 different versions of it. So I kind of regret, I guess I wouldn't say regret it, but I wish I would have also had a chance to try the Australian Wagyu beef noodles that was really thinly sliced beef that I saw other tables had. When I was making my order, we actually got this just a normal braised beef Wagyu boat noodle. I still felt like it was really tender beef, and the broth was very flavorful. It was made just like other restaurants that I tried when I was not in a buffet setting. I mean, but it was still overall really really good.
Yeah, all the dishes you had, they look really good, and it's kind of nice because you can see that. I mean, they don't plate it like how you would go to a sit-down restaurant and it's full service and everything, but in terms of buffet, it comes in plated pretty nicely. I wanted to ask, like, what was it that the length of time in terms of, okay, you go in, you send in your order to a certain station, and then you come back. How long would it usually take for you to get the food after you order?
I think that really depends on how many items you order and which stations you went to. Like, for example, like the noodle station, you're pretty much just standing in line, kind of like in Vegas where you're waiting for a omelet or crab, where you're just standing there until the whole dish is created. But for these other ones that are from the a la carte menu, those ones you pretty much just order everything, and I would say probably at the beginning of the right when we got set down, probably 5 to 10 minutes. But I think as we were waiting longer, or as we were eating longer, it was a little bit longer time, maybe up to 15 minutes for some of the items.
Pretty interesting because in a 2-hour period, that would essentially be 8 times that you could order that, and that sounds like it's a lot. 8 times is a lot, but as you kind of walk to different stations and you're not sure of the things that you quite like or if something you want to eat again, you're kind of competing to try different things. Would you say it's pretty difficult to try every dish if you wanted to?
Yeah, definitely. I really don't see how you could try every single item here. Like, there were items that I thought I didn't order when it came out, because it's been like some time in between I was eating something and the next dish would come out. And sometimes, like, when you're ordering, you may ask, oh, I just want 2 of this or 1 of each or something like that, like depending on how big your party is. Our party was a party of 5, so we were just trying to order at least 2 of each, and at some time it felt like maybe there's miscommunication. It felt like they may have made an extra order, and you're just trying to think, how am I going to eat all this food? I still want to try this other stuff. But moving along, like, I also wanted to mention their beverage section. They have this area where you could get a Taiwanese milk tea, and that Taiwanese milk tea was really good. I think I had at least 5 or 6 of them.
I was kind of wondering about that because earlier on in the video we saw the kind of at the bar there was a knob that was pulled down that poured, and I was wondering if that was Thai iced tea.
No, that was Thai milk. That was Taiwanese milk tea.
Taiwanese milk tea. So it was from that lever.
Yes, it was from the lever. Another thing that was very popular with this buffet is actually their cheesecake. So that cheesecake, it's a Basque cheesecake, and it actually received a lot of praise from many people. So I read that the restaurant itself may not hold like a Michelin star, but it does partnership with different Michelin restaurants and Michelin, I guess, chefs, I should say. And that cheesecake is one of the most popular dessert items that they have, and it's made with almond cream with honeycomb.
This kind of reminds me because we did have Basque cheesecake as well in Las Vegas, an episode where we visited the restaurant called Another Beast. And they had a really great Basque cheesecake. So compared to that, what would you say is the better of each of these?
That's really hard to say. I kind of feel like they're not quite the same level. I think this one has a little bit more flavors to it. It's more, they incorporated the almond cream with honeycomb. And the other one was just a straight Basque cheesecake. So it's not quite apples to apples, but they were both good. I can't say one is better than the other.
Okay. So I just have to try both to be able to compare. So that would be the key.
Yes, you definitely have to try both of them. And for the ice cream section, I thought this area for the ice cream, they kind of put it on the corner of the restaurant. Kind of in... I'm not really sure why they put it in like this hidden spot of the restaurant, but that was kind of different. You know, a lot of times we go to these buffets and ice creams usually with the dessert section and everything else, but for once they actually put it in the corner, kind of hidden away. I'm not really sure why they did that.
Maybe it's because it's so hot outside that they know everybody wants the ice cream, and so they might be thinking of that first, but then they had to hide it, and just so people would give other stuff a chance.
That is possible, but their ice cream is still actually pretty good. But I still think if you have a chance to eat all the desserts that they offer here, I would definitely go for those other desserts like the panna cotta, the cheesecake, the macaroons. They also have the lava cakes and many other things. So it's like endless options of dessert items that they have there. They even have something like a waffle cone or waffle that's served with caramel sauce. They have apple pie. I don't know. I can't remember everything. They just have so many choices.
Yeah, it really does look like they have a good variety. Kind of going back to the price, because it was $45 USD, as you mentioned. And that's not that cheap. That's pretty expensive, especially Southeast Asia, where street food is super, super cheap, and you can get great food for extra little. And this kind of reminds me more of Vegas prices, of the middle tier ones in Vegas. And would you say is definitely worth it for the price?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this wouldn't be the most popular buffet in Thailand if the prices are too outrageous. I think just coming here, I would definitely want to come back and maybe even try one of those packages the next time I'm in Bangkok. But yeah, overall, I really like this one. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's nothing but positive vibes coming to this restaurant, and I would recommend it to everyone who's going to Bangkok and looking for a buffet. And for the snowball is the Copper Buffet's cheesecake. It is a must-try due to its rich, creamy texture that melts in your mouth, offering a delightful finish to your meal. The Basque burnt cheesecake crafted by Paparch has been praised by diners for its exceptional flavor and quality. Its reputation as a standout dessert makes it a highlight of the dining experience at Copper Buffet.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.